How, okay, my question is, how the hell did she get in the building?
Exactly my point as well. I'm glad you
How
pointed it out.
the
I did not
hell?
understand that part. The third act to me was questionable.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Chilli Penguins podcast. Hello.
Greetings.
Hello. Dear Mr. Peanut, hello. I miss Jeff Dunham. Anyway,
How did
I
okay.
am. He used to be my guy. I am Jobadiah Tannhouse, and as always with me.
Hello, people. You've got Pies in the Seventh here. How are we doing today?
Today we're doing alright. Today we are a little uncomfortable, but we're gonna hang in there. You know.
We survive. We
will. Bruh, I saw a video of a girl, you know those videos where like someone is drunk and is acting like a fool,
Yeah.
and then they see a video of themselves the following morning when they are sober.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so she acted a fool, and then she saw a video of herself. And under the comments, one guy was like, she did not respect the balance. And I'm like, oh, I got that! Hey, I know what that means!
I get that reference.
It's such a nuanced reference, bruh.
She did
It's
not
so
respect
weird,
the balance.
bruh. And it's like, if you haven't seen the movie, you'll probably see that comment and not think much
You
of it.
literally
But
just
if
move
you see
on.
it, you'll be like,
Yeah.
But if you've seen it, just like, you gotta respect the balance.
Listen, you gotta respect the balance, man. Gotta respect the balance. Bro, this movie was something.
It exists, definitely.
Yeah, I don't even. While I gather my thoughts, can you give us the people the IMDb little
Okay. While this man suffers, what do you call it? Shell shock. He still got
Yes.
PTSD. I still got PTSD. Motherfuck the big three. That's you right now. Anyway, we are, of course, talking about The Substance from 2024. It is a horror film written and directed by Coralie Fargeat. Very exceptional, interesting film. So, according to IMDb, a fading celebrity takes a black market drug, a cell replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. Off the chart. I love the title of this movie. I think it's one of the best titles.
The Substance?
It's just called The Substance.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just love the title.
It's also like
It could have been something over the top or cheesy.
they could have named
But
it. They
just
could have given it
The
a name. They
Substance.
just called it The Substance. Because it's like,
Yes.
you know what I like? It parodies real life in a weird way, where the substance could be anything. It could be plastic surgery. It could be, what's the thing that the all of the so-called baddies are getting?
Zompic.
It could
What
be
is it called?
Ozempic, yes.
Oh, Zimpic.
It could be that. It could be a BBLs. You were gonna go there, but it's like
Yeah,
the
I
substance.
had to.
If you were to take that whole concept and put it in today's world, it could be any of those things.
Yeah.
But man, Carolee, what's her name? Carolee Fargeat, maybe. I don't know if I'm saying
I said
it
Fargeat.
right. Fargeat. Didn't she
should've
direct? There's
looked
this
up
movie you
how-
said I should watch. It was an
I've
action
never-
film. Maybe it was someone else who said I should watch it.
I've never seen anything from Carolee before. I remember Revenge.
Yeah.
When it came out. I remember the press release, but I've never seen it. I have no idea.
Okay. I thought you were the one that said I should watch Revenge.
Oh no, Revenge. It looks like a modern version of I Spit on Your Grave, which is something that I know for a fact you would not watch. But hey, you watch The Substance, so I don't know you anymore, man. I thought we were friends, but you surprised me now. I don't know you.
Can I tell
Let me
you
just say
why I
that.
watched this film? Initially,
Why?
had you told me about this film, there's a 85% chance I would have not watched it. But I read like you know when you scrolling comments and I went in like some weird rabbit hole, and I was lied to. The person was describing the film.
What did they say?
Was basically describing it was like, oh, The Substance is very nice, it's a very chill movie. It's like it's comparing, it's like taking Hollywood and how, and how the unrealistic expectations of like women in Hollywood are being portrayed with like a hint of horror. That's all I got. I mean, sure, they're not wrong, but I feel like they didn't tell me the meat and potatoes of it, right? I was misled. So for me, that's all.
I mean, it's classified as a body horror, and they did not mention that.
No,
they lied.
No, I didn't get any like because I'm like I don't even know how I got there, but literally all I was told. Oh yes, I was looking at like shows that portray real life in a very nuanced way. So it was like similar to like BoJack Horseman, how it's like you look at BoJack and you can take any other Hollywood star that was popular in the 80s. Now you'll find like almost one-to-one similarities, not exactly, but almost one-to-one similarities. So off of that train, the next thing was the other guy was like, oh yeah, you guys should check out The Substance. It does a very similar thing, only this time it's like comparing like these unrealistic expectations of women, how they have to stay young, and it's like, oh, it's got a little smidge of horror in there, but nothing much. That's what I was told.
Well, to be fair, the horror there is not that much. It's so that's kind of correct, but this is a lie of omission. That's what this is. That's what this is. This is the lie of omission, and it's a punishable offense.
It is a punishable offense by death. That the last 40 minutes of this film, I'm like, what in the heck am I watching?
It's a movie that is. It goes places, but in an unexpected way.
Listen, I can handle like horror stuff and a bit of body horror. But this thing was like, we're going to body horror and we're going to stay there. Get yourself a camp chair, park yourself. This is what we're doing for the next 30 minutes. And I'm like,
oh, damn. The weird thing is, for me, it didn't get me that much. The body horror parts did. Maybe I've seen.
Yeah, you're dead inside.
Heavier stuff. Yeah, I need. What do you call this? What do you call them? 2 irons that doctors have. Hit them again.
Oh, it's got a name.
Defibrillator.
Yeah.
Or the electric defibrillator. Because I watched the movie and I was like, okay, I get it. I wasn't that squeamish or like horrified. I was interested and I was like, oh, okay. From a film fan, I was appreciating all the prosthetics and makeup and story writing. And it's genuinely a good film, but I don't know, it didn't get me that much compared to. I'm trying to think of a movie that goes to body horror. I've never seen any of the Saw movies because I can't handle that.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing.
I can't.
With this film, right, it goes to body horror. Like, sometimes it's like a reveal of like what something is, and you'll see it for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or like 10 minutes is a stretch, even like 5 minutes. And typically these films would like hide it in shadow and all that stuff. Here, it's a whole sequence, and that is all you see.
Oh yeah.
Bro, she had like 4 nipples or titties coming out of wherever.
Bruh.
Her face stuck to her shoulder as well. She puked out a boob at some point. She puked a boob. I want to let me just say that again. She puked a boob out of her eye.
That wasn't on my bingo card.
She puked a boob out of her eye. I think it was like a left boob too. Not that I know the difference, but still.
I was about to say, if you can tell if it's left boob or right boob, hey FBI, we got him.
I just figured because it was the left eye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Yeah, that's him right there. That's our guy. I liked some things of this movie and some things I were like, okay, I could live without.
Yeah.
But overall, objectively, it is. Here's another thing. For me, if it doesn't involve anything supernatural, it's not gonna scare me.
Yeah.
So the horror element was already out the window.
Yeah. No, I also
The
didn't
body
find it
horror
scary.
parts did
It
not
was,
get me.
here's the thing,
Yeah.
it wasn't scary, it was disturbing.
Yeah, it was disturbing.
Yeah.
But on a disturbing scale, out of 10, what would you give it?
I don't want to look at it. It's like, it's not like one of those things where I'm going to sleep and it's going to come to my brain type of thing. It was like, I don't want to look at this.
Oh, yeah.
And why do I have to keep looking at this? And why is this still going on? But it isn't. I think both of us, more you than me, we're very desensitized. You're dead inside. But it's like, for most people, they're like, I can't take this.
That's insane. Yeah, because I watch YouTube reactors and they're like, and I'm like, really? That? Okay.
I feel like you could watch that while eating breakfast.
I could.
Yeah.
I could watch that while eating Oreos.
Okay.
I don't know why Oreos
Why?
are.
You just went to specifics there.
Like Itzamos. Do they have Itzamos in Hollywood? I wonder.
I don't know. But yeah, let me. The film, it's got quite a few people, but it stars basically 3 people. If you wanna get direct, I mean, it's got Demi Moore, obviously. We've got Margaret Qualley, and we've got Dennis Quaid.
Shout out to Margaret Qualley.
Yeah, Margaret Qualley.
Shout out to Demi Moore.
Bro, Demi Moore. Wait, it was the Oscars yesterday, right? Or
Yeah, she lost to Mikey.
Oh, I knew she was nominated.
Yeah, she was nominated and she lost to the lady who starred in Anora, which took 4. Bruh, the guy who wrote Anora, got an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, I think.
Oh, damn.
And then he got it for editing.
Oh, damn.
And then for Best Picture and for directing. This man wrote the movie, directed it, edited it. That's insane, bro.
Okay.
That's insane. Here's my new role model.
Don't say no more. I haven't seen it yet, and I want to see it. So
I haven't seen it either.
Okay,
That's why I want to see it.
I thought you were going to give me spoilers.
I have no idea what it's about.
Okay.
I remember seeing a trailer last year.
Yeah.
The first trailer, and I was like, it's cool. And I forgot about it. And then I'm seeing the Oscar buzz. I'm like, this movie? So I'm going to check it out at some point.
Well, me too.
But the fact that it's like, very few directors do that. I know the Coen brothers, they edit some of their films.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I mean, The Substance, I know The Substance won Best Makeup. And deserved.
Deservedly so.
Deserved. Because what the actual hell. But to give you guys...
I love how they went... I love how they went to the max with the makeup.
Yeah, they went
it's not just it's just an ugly person. Oh no, they
did not cut corners.
Makeup on steroids, which is something that I respect.
Cut corners with that one, man. To give you just a slightly more in-depth overview of what the story is about, it follows an aging Hollywood actress who was big, even has a Hollywood star, but now in her older years, she learns that the network is trying to replace her trying to find a younger, quote-unquote, hotter female actress to take her place, even though they had once promised her to, be there and take care of her. So she overhears this, and faced with this reality, she discovers the Substance, a product that will allow her to create a younger, quote-unquote, perfect version of her. But not like taking her and changing her into this younger... No. It'll basically make a duplicate. She'll stay the same, but there will be another version of her that'll be a younger and perfect version of her. But she can only be one of each at a time. So 7 days as the new one, and 7 days as the old one. And they have to go continuously do that swap. So every 7 days you have to be this person, every 7 days you have to be that person. And basically this starts a whole spiral of struggle. We've got some identity issues here, and it becomes survival. We've got some Chilli stuff. It just goes downhill at this point.
Haywire.
Yeah. But...
And it's...
Yeah.
It's such a... Again, I love stories films with simple plots. Like, you get this, if you do this, and then we have the end. That's all. It's not a Nolan narrative.
No.
Actually, if Nolan's movies, they seem complicated, but really at the heart of it, it's pretty simple. But this one, it's like, you don't want to feel like you're losing touch, or you want to feel old and replaceable.
Yeah.
So you try to recapture your youth, and it's like, it's not gonna end well. No matter how hard you try, it's not gonna end well. You gotta accept the fact that you're getting old, and there's some good to getting old. We see with the guy from high school. He still thinks she is fine as hell.
Yeah.
So if you focus on the good of being old, you will not want to go back to being young and replaced, because there'll be new ventures.
True.
Saying that as a 27-year-old man, obviously I feel old as hell.
Real quick.
But yeah, I love this.
Story-wise, in terms of like narrative and script, like breakdown, I feel like it's, like you mentioned, it's not like a complicated script, right?
Yeah.
It's got some psych.
But it is such a unique idea.
Yes.
Yes, I will say that. Give props to Coralie. It's such a unique idea, and it's so. You can see that it was made by someone who genuinely believed in the idea and who wanted to tell it. And I don't think anyone else could have done it justice, because it's like the story.
No, I definitely agree, because if you can look at a few things. You can look at how, like, we've got the psychological depth that, like, the horror starts psychologically, like in terms of like, okay, well, how does the person view themselves? And it's the fear of changing, especially when the finger happened. It's like, okay, we're starting with that, and that also like leads to the pacing, because if you look at the pacing of like how it was written and then directed, the first, like, it starts off slow, focusing on like the characters and the psychological tension between her and herself, and then it just slowly starts to snowball. And that's the thing, the way they do the snowball, it literally builds until at the end it's so big, it's ginormous. You just like, how do we get here?
How did we end up here?
Like the chaos, man, that this film descends into.
And the crazy thing is, from the opening shots, right, where they do the syringe to the egg and it splits.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, cool. So it's gonna be, a copy of the person.
Yeah.
But nah, it's not the exact copy. It's like a better version. But as soon as that happens, at the back of your mind, nothing good can come out of this.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, it's too good to be true. Something's gonna pop off at some point.
Yeah. I feel like that's one thing that I got from like you said, it never seemed like this was like the good idea or right idea. It was always like, nah, this is too good to be true. This is way too good to be true.
But it is tempting.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, especially like, I think it's when you're wrestling with your own identity and you're not happy with who you are, and you think that you're going to find solace in being someone else, I think.
But it's also like, it's not just someone else. It's like someone that I used to be.
Yeah.
It's almost like, part of it is like someone else, but also part of it is like, I was once this person.
Yes.
I want to go back to being that person.
Yes.
And it's like, time does not go back. Why do you think you could go back?
True. But like the way this was written, do you think it's like, from your perspective, do you think they looked at like a lot of like the old Hollywood, current Hollywood, or maybe some of the now past Hollywood stars as reference for this?
I don't know. That's something that I haven't really thought of. I would say I would think that it's more personal. But the thing is, if something is personal, it has the effect of applying to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because we have shared experiences. But if you try to make it a shared experience, it ends up being so general that it applies to no one. So I think Coralie was, had an idea, and also I believe that writers they bring part of themselves in the project that they're making. However different it is, there is part of you in the art that you're making. So maybe Carolee had some feelings related to what the story is about, and because of that, it echoed amongst thousands of the Hollywood stars that they saw it and be like, oh my god, that's me. Or even not Hollywood stars, just ladies in general.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you gotta be pretty all the time, or else you gotta be replaced, or you gotta look good and be fresh all the time. And it's like a lot of people in different professions may feel that way just because they're not an actress. It doesn't mean that they, carry themselves with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that makes it good, is that because we'll never know why Coralie did the idea, but because she did it in such a personal way, it was able to touch a lot of hearts and a lot of guts.
True. No, I agree.
Throats.
The only reason why I asked is because I don't know if I read this somewhere. I'm not that in deep with internet culture, but I remember there was like this whole thing where they were like, a lot of celebrities are getting new faces.
Oh yes.
I think like Lindsay Lohan is like an example where you take a picture or look at a picture of like Lindsay Lohan back in the day and Lindsay Lohan now. It's like she got some sort of surgery and her face is like completely new, looking young and everything. And people are like, oh, what kind of doctor did she go to? Some people are like, oh, I need that doctor because I want to, be young again, I guess.
It's sad. For me, it's sad, bruh.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe like, did she maybe like look at like what the climate is? Because it's like, if it's not like Botox, going to Korea for whatever, boob jobs, BBLs, if like anything, because a lot of these things, obviously I'm not saying this is like the main reason, but a lot of these things are, I want to say, could be to stay relevant within the media, to stay young, to stay, maybe this right or wrong, to get more opportunities, to continue their careers, and get more opportunities to star in these films, to star in these things, to star in these roles, because they still look the part, or could still look a certain part, and I feel like that's also like wrestling with your age, instead of like getting into a new chapter where you're now taking on different roles because you're now in a different place.
And it's, when does it end?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Because you're gonna do it, and then you're gonna look young now, but then when this new person looks old, what are you gonna do then? You're gonna make that guy look young again, and then
when does the cycle
end up
end?
having a boob.
Yeah,
You have a boob coming out of your eye, and then it's like, bye bye.
bro, I don't know. I think
And have you realized that, maybe it's just me, but no shade against plastic surgery. People must do what they want with their faces and with their bodies.
Yes.
But I have seen, in my own opinion, some people who get the plastic surgery looked genuinely fine without it.
Yeah.
They look beautiful without it.
Yeah.
And you're like, you looked amazing. Imagine that person feeling like they don't look beautiful. It has to be so messed up.
Yeah.
Because I look at myself, I'm like, I'm a regular looking guy. There's nothing exceptional. If I was to get plastic surgery, sure. But if you look exceptionally beautiful, but you think that you don't look good enough.
Yeah.
The industry gets to people.
Yeah. I think that's also like, it gets back to like some of the themes of this film, like the exploitation of women in the entertainment industry. Like there's this weird culture around it, where it's like a fear of aging. So fine, yeah, you and I might think the person looks good, but maybe they have unrealistic beauty standards for themselves, and they go into these surgeries because they want to look like whoever on like some magazine, but then it's like overdone, or like the only way to make it last is to put maybe a bit too much, and then they end up looking so different, whereas before they did it, from our opinions, like, you looked genuinely good.
Yeah.
But it's also like there's this...
But it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, society is very obsessed with beauty in general.
In a very wicked way.
Yeah.
it's yeah, you can be beautiful, but there's this thing that if you are beautiful, once you are beautiful, you must stay beautiful. That's the messed up part.
Yes.
Like you're not once you are beautiful, you're not allowed to not look beautiful no more. So either be not beautiful and be okay with it, or get beautiful but know that now you're stuck with looking beautiful for the rest of your life.
Pretty much. It's like, I think it's also
That's-
I think it's a critique on Hollywood in general.
Oh, 100%.
Because like that's the pressure for women to, like you said,
I remember
remain young and
seeing-
desirable.
Bruh, I remember seeing the lady who plays Starlight in The Boys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when she got her
was so
when she got her
beautiful.
plastic surgery.
And she came back and I was like, what happened? Imagine thinking that you're not beautiful or you look like that. Bro,
Yeah.
she was so fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, how messed up is it over there, bruh?
Yeah,
How messed up is it over there?
that is.
But also, it's like transcends. I would say, obviously, the forefront of the message is like, yes, beauty and ladies in Hollywood and the unfair treatment and the exploitation and the objectifying of them.
Yeah.
But I could look at beyond that, like even as a guy, where you can look back at your younger years and I remember at some point I was like, man, I used to be so fearless when I was younger in varsity. I used to do things, I used to take chances, take risks, but now I'm like, what happened to that guy?
Where'd
What
he
happened
go?
to that guy who had all the energy, who had all the vigor and the zest for life? And it's like, well, life got to him and life gets to all of us. And what do you do about that? You can't go back, so you can look at the life that you have now and try to figure out what you can do with the now.
Yes.
Over there is gone.
And I feel like that a lot of what this movie is saying is that what you're saying is where instead of like moving on and figuring out where you are now, they look at that and like aging as to be more specific, as something that can be fixed.
Yes.
And that instead of, like, of course, how do you fix aging? You're not going to stop. The years are going to go by. But that's what leads to these self-destructive choices that people make. Because you believe that you can fix something that can't be fixed. Something that's not even a
You
problem
can't
to
break
begin
the laws
with.
of nature, man. No matter how hard you try.
It's the laws of nature. You can't fix something that's inevitable. Like Thanos said.
Yes. I am inevitable.
Yeah.
But I will say,
Yeah.
the movie, the compositions for me was what made the movie.
The shots. Yeah.
Shout out to the DOP. We gotta shout out the DOP.
Definitely have to shout
Who
out to
shot
the
this movie? Because oh my god, and it's bold, stylistic choices that was just perfection.
Yeah.
And the cinematography, I think, fit the narrative of the film. Where, if you remember, when it's Margaret Qualley, they use sort of shorter lenses, but when it's Demi Moore, they use more long lenses, so her face is a bit distorted. The perspective is almost exaggerated. Everything is just out of touch and off balance. But when it's Megan Qualley, everything. But when it's Dennis Quaid again, the lens is all over the place because he is obviously a terrible person.
Yeah. It's a very interesting way. The cinematography is very. I think the word you use, bold, is actually very fitting here, because they make bold choices for all three characters,
And it works beautifully.
it does. And I also want to say the sets they use.
Yes.
Beautiful. It works.
But also, if you think about it, it doesn't. The movie, I want to say it doesn't look expensive.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
I wonder what the budget was.
Let's find out. Our Uncle Google has the
It
answers.
was 18 million. Not bad.
Not bad. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Because think about it.
Yeah.
It's the penthouse, or like whatever house that is, the studio, and that warehouse where she goes to collect the stuff. That's all. That's it.
And you have some exterior shots of the seats or what of the streets or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's literally those. That's good. Short right there.
Yeah.
When you can use as little sets as possible, but your story still is powerful. Because even the house, we have the living room and the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's it. That's insane,
That's quite
bro.
literally. It's like that hallway in the middle. But
And
that's
that
that's
hallway.
it. The economics were
And we
used
have-
very well in this film, all around.
Bruh, that's how you. Yeah, and I think it shows it to me. It shows like a clear vision.
Yes.
Like, we're not gonna use anything that we don't need. We're not gonna, show things that we don't need to show in the story. Because sometimes you can have a film where, it's set in these 2 areas or these 3 areas, but for some reason we have a shot of the grocery store or at the zoo, and you're like, why is she at the zoo now? Is it areas in the story? No. The only reason she went to the restaurant was because she was running away, and she saw the guy,
Yeah.
the older guy, and you're like, oh, that's the guy. But man, the set is not that big, but it delivered.
One thing that you mentioned is that they are very specific with their shot choices and everything. They're not giving us any
Yes.
fillers. They're very, very specific in what they're showing us. Another thing I think it plays a key role with their shots is the sound design. Especially because they used a lot of extreme close-ups.
No, very extreme.
Very
high
extreme close-ups.
They get there.
But one thing is with the extreme close-up, we also get the sound to match that. So it feels like we're right there in the extremeness as well.
And it fits nicely.
Yeah. When it's chewing, we hear the disgusting chewing sounds. We hear the disgusting, like, slimy sounds when he's holding, was it shrimp? Or whatever that thing was.
Shrimp or drumsticks.
We hear all of those disgusting sounds because we zoom in, we're there. And it's, those choices.
They also used color pretty well.
Yeah. They use color
'Cause
very, very well.
The saturation changes when it's Demi Moore versus Margaret Qualley.
Yes.
And it's one of those things where it's not on your face. Like, the change is not so drastic that you notice, but you notice it enough because of the story.
Yeah. I think it's the story itself that allows you to notice it, but otherwise, it's there, you know.
I love this, and obviously, the performances from Demi. I have controversial take, but the nominations, I don't know if I would be for it, but it was a great performance.
From Demi.
Yeah, the movie, because the movie it won for what is it again? I keep forgetting these words.
For
Special effects.
yes, special effects.
Yes. Yes. Demi's performance was awesome. I have a weird relationship with the Oscars this year. That's why. I wasn't impressed by the nominations and everything. So maybe it's part of it.
That could be it. That could be it.
That's just me.
Yeah.
But Anora was good apparently. But that happens though. Usually at the Oscars you have this year, you have the big guns. And then the following year, like, hey, okay.
Yeah,
The following year, I was gonna take the Oscar. Then the following year it's like,
Do you know what it is?
Okay.
You know what it is? There weren't a lot of big budget films with multiple nominations this year. So not a lot of films that were widely advertised and a large number of people knew about had like multiple like nominations. Whereas, for example, I feel like Anora was big, but it wasn't like huge multi-million dollar big budget big. Same thing with The Substance. Like I feel like a lot of people knew about it and talked about it, but it wasn't. It didn't have a $100 million budget, for example.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
The ones a lot of blockbusters.
Yeah.
Because I remember not last year. Wait, this is 2025.
Yeah.
2020. The Oscars from 2024. This always messes me up.
So 2023 movies.
The buzz was real, because we had Oppenheimer, which was all over the place.
Yeah. Barbie.
We had We had, yes,
Yeah.
Barbie and Oppenheimer, they were practically leading the box office.
Yeah.
We had a lot of big movies. Killers of the Flower
Killers of
Moon.
the
We
Flower
had
Moon.
Maestro
Yeah.
and Poor Things.
Yeah, we had.
So,
we had
yeah, it
big
was.
movies, like in terms of numbers as well.
Yes. Like to have Christopher Nolan and Martin Scorsese at nominated in the same category. It's
Yeah,
huge.
that's huge.
Whereas that's another thing. It feels like this year it wasn't a lot of big guns. That's another thing. I mean, the term big guns is subjective. I can we can argue with that. But there weren't a lot of quote unquote big guns at the Oscars.
Yeah.
And so it felt But anyway, shout out to the winners. But the one thing that I would say about The Substance was, for me, it was awesome, but I wouldn't say I had a deep emotional connection with the film.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like, I'm trying to think of, for example, yesterday we were talking about the killer guy. I Saw the Devil.
Yes.
Like, the emotional investment there was to the max. But with The Substance, maybe it was around maybe 40%, because the movie didn't 100% get me. I still enjoyed it, and I think, some movies can capture people and not capture others, and that's completely fine.
Yeah.
But I could still objectively say, this is a great piece of work.
No, I agree. I agree. And I think another thing about this film in particular is that it's, I don't want to say it's not necessarily targeted at us, because I feel like you were saying, we both can appreciate this film, but I feel like more than us, a lot of women will appreciate it more.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because I think, here's my thing. I have a weird take about the quote-unquote targeted for certain people label on movies.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think, like, for example, I'm trying to think of a girly chick flick movie.
Barbie?
I can't think of any right now. Damn it.
Barbie?
Barbie? I haven't seen Barbie.
Oh. But guess what?
But Barbie, for
Guess
example.
what? It wasn't targeted at you.
Exhibit A.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't think filmmakers set out to make movies for a target audience.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because every time they try to do that, they fail.
Yes. So this is
If you try to make a movie for women, you fail.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We've seen that a lot of times.
I think it's we probably had a discussion similar to this when we talked about Charlie's Angels. But I think what I feel like is happening here is, because The Substance, I don't think it was specifically made for women, because I enjoyed it. Obviously not as much as other film. What I'm saying is that even though we both enjoyed this film, I feel like women, especially older women who can watch this, will connect with it on a deeper level than you and I will.
Yes, I 100% agree with that.
It's like they'll have a deeper connection, but
yes.
it's everybody can enjoy this film.
Yes. So the connection is because the artist had a genuine connection with the film.
Yes.
And people can genuinely connect to the film.
Yes.
I don't think that you can make art by saying this art is for these people, because you're not making it for yourself now. You're making it for them.
Yeah.
And you cannot make anything for them.
Because you don't know them.
That's my chat.
You don't know them.
Like, yeah, you don't know. Lorraine is a school nurse, and you're like making a movie for her. Lorraine's like, shut up, bitch. I don't know you. Now you fit.
You? True.
Yeah, but even if you try to make cause bruh, yes, I'm glad we talked about this. I am so glad we talked about it, because I just remembered. I will send you a video, right? I'll send you a video. This guy was talking about Powerpuff Girls.
Okay.
And the title of the movie was like, the title of the video was Why Boys Liked Powerpuff Girls. And he broke it down beautifully. Powerpuff Girls, they were the thing.
I was watching that shit
like
Like it's
like 100%.
yeah.
And it's so insane because one, obviously, if you were to bring up the whole gender conversation, Powerpuff Girls were made by a guy, but starring little girls, and little boys were fans just as much as little girls.
Yeah.
Everybody liked Powerpuff
Everybody
Girls,
liked- yeah.
not because of the gender. It's just because they were cool, they kicked some ass, and they had funny action sequences.
Yes.
But and then the conversation is, oh, people don't like the thing because of the label that it has. They like the thing because it's genuinely a good thing.
But
You can
yes.
do that with anything, whether it's race, whether it's gender, whether it's demographic. That's why I don't agree with people when they say, oh, it's because you're not the target audience. That's not true. I don't believe that.
I feel like
Like someone who said,
on anything on its base level, it's either good or bad. Start with that, right? And then secondary to that, okay, fine. Is this good? If it's good, okay, cool, I watch it. And then while watching it, I can see how much I connect with it, and whether I fully connect with it or not. It's just like, well, I don't fully connect with like the artist's vision, but I can still see that this is a good project. I can still understand it, and I can be like, I can confidently say, this was good. I'm just not the type of person that relates to all of these things.
yeah. And just because you don't relate to it doesn't mean it wasn't made for you. It's just because you do not relate.
True. This is true.
Because I remember I had a conversation with this lady, and I was like, I really didn't enjoy Insecure that much, but I understand that it had great writing. And then she was like, oh, it wasn't made for you, it was made for young women. And I'm like, that's not true, because a lot of guys like
Yeah,
Insecure,
yeah.
and it's a great overall written show. So same with this movie, where it's like, okay, the emotional components in the film do not resonate that much with the viewer, but it's still a good piece of work.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember this. There's a show from like, let me hit up Uncle Google. The show from
2004,
2011 actually.
2000. Okay, I was gonna guess 2010 next.
Yeah, 2011 called Revenge. It's a drama series. And I remember
You watched Revenge?
I love Revenge.
Really?
I love Revenge. Because I remember I was talking to someone and they were like, dude, that show is for like old women. And I'm like, no, it's not.
I remember folks at school used to like Revenge as well. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Revenge is dope, bro. Revenge is dope. I liked it. And it's like, I agree with you. It's like, it's even though more people might relate to it on a different level, it doesn't mean that it was specifically made for this audience and other people can't enjoy it.
Yeah. Sometimes you can watch a thing and you can just appreciate if it's badass, the badass, or if it's funny, the funny of it, and still enjoy it. It's not like, oh, it wasn't made for you. But on the other hand, if you don't like it, if you do like it, doesn't mean it was made for you anyway.
That's okay.
If you like it, doesn't mean it was made for you. It just means it's a good piece of work that you like.
Yes. It means objectively
There's a
it's a
level
good
of-
piece of work.
Yeah. There's a level of ego that exists with that. It's like, oh, it's like, no, it wasn't made for you. Who do you think you are? You think an artist is sitting there thinking, oh, this guy's gonna love this if I make it for them. Shut up. Shut up. I'm gonna call Steve to come whip your ass right now.
I feel like the more we talk, the more it shows that, because this conversation actually pops up a lot with bad pieces of work, where something is really bad and then people go out defending it and be like, oh no, it wasn't made for you.
You can't make a thing for people. It doesn't work like that. It's insane how
It was just
a lot
bad.
of art practitioners do not understand that. You cannot.
Yeah.
Because you try to generalize a thing and it ends up flopping.
True. It's like the one thing
And-
you said earlier that I agree with is like, as an artist or a filmmaker or whatever, you have to make something for yourself first and foremost.
Firstly.
You have to believe in your idea. Make it the way that you think it will work for you, and then other people, and make sure it's good, obviously. Then other people will gravitate to that and take what they can or take what relates to them. But you may have to make something that is good and for you, because once you start trying to make something for other people, you don't know Timothy from East London. You don't know how he works.
You don't know. Now you're gonna make a thing for Timothy? Remember when when the one that we shan't be named, but the Joss Whedon Justice League came
I
out.
was thinking the exact same thing. Yes.
Yeah, and you have a studio that thinks that people like this kind of thing, so let's give people this kind
Yeah,
of thing.
let's make it for
And
these
then you
people.
fail because
Yeah.
you think that's what people like,
Yeah.
but no.
Because it's like they were trying to do the whole like Marvel thing where it's like, well, Marvel fans like this, so let's give them the whole Marvel thing. But it's like, once you start thinking like that, then you've lost the plot. Once you start thinking, let's give them what they like based on what other people have been doing, you're not making a good product anymore. You're just making a product based on what you think is good.
When the studio thinks that people like this kind of thing, so let's bring a guy who knows to do this kind of thing, so we can make something good.
Mm-hmm.
Already you failed because you're not making a thing because you honestly want to make a thing. You're making a thing because you think people out there like it.
Yes.
And it doesn't fit with the kind of story that you're telling.
Yes, and it's more of a cash grab at that point. It's like, well, they made a lot of money making this type of content. So if we can get someone that can make something similar to this type of content, we'll make a lot of money.
Yes.
You just
But
lost the plot.
that guy, the first guy who was making the type of content, genuinely wanted to make the type of content, and it happened that people liked it.
Yes.
And if you make your type of content, so it's like you don't believe that you have the power to make something that people like. So you almost have low self-esteem and believe in that guy more and bring that guy, and that guy is gonna mess things up.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Which is
It's like, then as a studio, you have no identity or trust in yourself.
zero.
And it's like, bruh.
And even that's the thing. Even most audiences don't care much about films. Like, they don't analyze and everything, but they can tell that this is not it.
Yeah.
This is not it. Then it's sad. But if you have people who genuinely believe in the works, that make something out of their hearts, it just shows. Like with this movie, it shows that it was made by people who believed in the thing and they wanted to make this type of story, and it's just perfection.
Yeah, I agree, because it's like you can tell that there was a clear vision and a clear direction that they were going in, and they went with it. I mean, even like the whole thing with using makeup and prosthetics versus CGI, it just worked.
Yeah.
It worked. And it made it feel a lot more real and disgusting. Very, 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 very disgusting.
It did feel real.
Yeah.
It felt real, but the monster was scary, but it had that level of sadness to it for me.
I think that's where the realism comes in, because it had like some tragedy in it.
Tragedy, that's the word.
Yeah.
Like, the monster wasn't. I mean, obviously, by default of being grotesque, it is a monster, but it wasn't designed to be like scary. Booga booga.
No. Yeah.
You almost feel sorry for her, because it's like, oh my God, you've turned into this, but it's too late for you now, because it's almost like the person behind the monster, and she doesn't deserve this.
Yes.
But it's too late. It's happened.
True. But like, it's also if you think about it with this movie, there's the duality, right? You've got one that wants to live out her high years through her younger version, and you've got the other who feels like the older version is slowing her down. Neither are fully happy with the other, but only one is getting, I guess, to live out the dream while the other suffers.
It's weird, because if you think about it, we have Elizabeth and we have Sue, right?
Yeah.
Elizabeth wants to be young again and capture and be celebrated and loved and everything. Then we have Sue, who is young and celebrated and everything. But what you realize is Sue still hates Elizabeth, even though she is Elizabeth.
True.
But
Even
then Elizabeth starts hating Sue too. So it's like, you can't win.
Yeah.
Whichever version of yourself you cannot love that version more than you love yourself.
Yes.
It's that. It's like
Yes.
whichever version you try to be, you will hate that version.
Because
So-
the fact that you don't love yourself enough to carry on being yourself, by splitting into two, that means you just got something else to hate.
Yeah, the hate is not gonna wait.
Yeah.
The hate is real now because the hate is looking at you like
The
I
hate
hate
is
you.
tangible. You can actually see
Yes.
the hate.
Yes, the hate is eating drumsticks and swearing at the TV at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Bro.
There's a thing. I saw an interview with Jim Carrey when he was like, depression is your I don't know if it's mind or body, but your depression is your body saying I'm tired of playing this character. And in here you can see what she's like, oh, I like my younger self, I like my older self, but then she's like, I'm tired of being that old person. I don't want to be that no more. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And then the older person is like, I'm tired of being that character. I want to be me. So whatever way, the only way is. Also, do you realize how the movie has a strong, powerful message without ever saying the strong, powerful message?
Yes. They never
It
said
said nothing. The movie is and I think it's a testament to great writing where audiences can deduce the message, the theme, or for the story without you telling them. Because most filmmakers like saying, racism is bad or self-love is good. Nobody ever mentions self-love here. Nobody ever mentions Hollywood, makeup, whatever. But it's because the writing itself is honest, we can get messages, and that's brilliant, right?
Knocks it out the park. Dude, but like
Yep.
a few things with the ending, right? I get the ending part. Everything was like dramatized to fully like drive home. I don't want to say the point, but like okay, my question is, how the hell did she get in the building?
Exactly my point as well. I'm glad you
How
pointed it out.
the
I did not
hell?
understand that part. The third act to me was questionable.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Because I think the
Yeah.
reason why they did it like that, I think, is when the third act started, when she was like, when the younger version killed the original, and then started losing her teeth, and because again they're one person, if you kill the old, I mean, what do you expect? And then injected herself with the remaining syrup or substance, I guess, to make this new version who ends up being grotesque. I think from that point on, they leaned in a lot into the body horror element, as well as not necessarily supernatural, but like, what's the word?
It's almost fantastical in a
Fantastical
way.
element of it, because there's
Yeah.
no way she would have made it down the street without
There's
any
no
use.
way.
No way she would have made it in the building. And even then, she made it on stage. The lights were on. People were just nervously watching. There's no way people wouldn't scream in the first second. But I think it's that fantastical nature of it, because they just wanted... I think the director wanted to drive home the point that, look at what you made her become. And
You know
what
this
she
reminds me of?
had to become as well.
And they're showing that this is what she's become, and part of it is like, you are like, quote unquote, you are this, or not you, but this industry is responsible for this.
Yes,
in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that was the part there.
This reminds me of, have you seen the movie? There's this alien movie. I'm trying to remember the name.
Is it one of the aliens?
Nah. It's the latest movie.
Romulus?
No, not that latest.
Oh.
It has. Oh man. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna find this movie. Anyway, the third act reminds me of that movie because there's how am I gonna say this? There's this thing where filmmakers they go overboard with the narrative, and they sort of move past what's realistic
Yeah.
and move past realism, but it works because they've proven themselves that they're a good director.
Yeah.
It's like one guy put it nicely where he says, "We don't know what's going on, but we trust that we are in confident hands of the director.
Yes.
So we're gonna trust that this vision is working or this thing is working." Because sometimes you can have a movie where it's all over the place from the beginning, that the ending just becomes the worst part, right? Or you can have a movie that's great, but the ending is questionable and shaky. The ending here is not questionable or shaky. It's a good ending, but it tips over to the unrealistic realm. But because the director has proven herself that she knows exactly what she's doing, we trust that this is the right way for the film to go, and it works.
It works. It's one of those things where we were in reality for in quote unquote reality for this world, and then when she took us out for that last act, it's like we're not taken out of it. We don't reject it because, like you said, the director has proven herself, so we'll trust you and we'll stay with you till the end. Because sometimes when these things happen, we're like, hey, now why is this person flying? And then you get removed from like believing the whole narrative. But with her, you stay in it.
Also, it's because we're in too deep. We can't get out.
Yeah, we're way in too deep. Way in too deep. You can't find the Alien movie.
No One Will Save You. That's the Alien movie.
Oh.
You should check it out. It's a good film.
Okay.
It's a brave movie, and you'll see why I say it's brave. It's a very brave movie.
Okay.
But yeah, if you get a chance, check it out. Anyway, that was The Substance.
Yeah. One film that also tackles dual identity, kind of horror-ish, but in a completely different way, or at least I think in a completely different way, is Enemy.
Oh yeah, completely different way. Yes.
But I think I like the idea of like tackling dual identity, because in a way the other, quote unquote, is jealous of what the other has.
Yeah.
And in both,
and messing up his life by trying to get what the other one has.
Yes. So there's always that thing of like in human psyche where we believe that the grass is greener on the other side. And what these movies do is that they actually give you the grass to look at. And by trying to pursue that green grass, you end up destroying what you have.
Yep.
And I think it's not just us, but also like the expectations that the world puts on us. The world, our families, our jobs, media, social media, all of the things. And when you're not confident in who you are as a person, then you become very vulnerable to these things.
And then you try to get out and chase things, and you end up getting burnt.
Yep.
Crash and burn.
You crash and burn. But other than that, man, what final thoughts do you have about this film?
Gotta respect the balance. Those are my final thoughts.
You know what?
Gotta respect the balance.
You know what? I have nothing to add, because you gotta respect the balance. I like the when Demi Moore first called the place. It was like, there's been a slight misuse of the substance.
just a teeny bit.
Just a slight misuse of the substance. I feel like that was a very funny.
A little pickle, right?
Yeah.
If you may.
It was funny, but yeah. I think that would be it from us. That was The Substance. We're gonna look at something hopefully more lighthearted next time.
We gotta get the lols. We gotta get the spirits up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. We need.
Well, that's it, folks.
Spirits.
We shall catch thee on the flip side.
All right, bro. Peace, people.